Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna have to plug yesterday's video in right here. I'm not really sure if maybe if it was like the title or maybe was it a 10-minute video or something like that. I don't know how the fuck this algorithm shit works. Apparently you gotta like make longer videos or something. Whatever. I don't care. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, you can click it right there. So in that video yesterday, I told everybody that the FaZe Team Taj was coming out, and it did come out last night, and the support on it has been it's been awesome. The comment section, like every single top comment has to do with me. All of them saying shit like, Jeb, best closer ever, best FaZe Clan member ever. Oh, that makes me feel good. But obviously, it wasn't the best closer in the world. I mean, there was a couple comments that said shit like along the lines of like, oh, I've seen better or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, obviously you must have seen better somewhere if you're sitting on YouTube all day and you're just clicking around and shit. But yeah, the clip was 7 headshots with a split quad feed with an all-pro in it with the M40 reg scope. Just headshot after headshot after headshot into that all-pro. It just took that one fucking guy, the one dude dying to split it, man. I mean, regardless, it's still pretty good. I like that clip, but I mean, I'm actually really lucky that I even hit the all-pro on this game because as you know how Collaterals are anyway. Now, I want to talk about Collaterals really quick. I'm actually going to make this a topic for the entire video. I'm pretty baffled right now. All right, so Wendell Wobble, he tweeted out saying something along the lines of like, Collaterals are working in line with how the original code was for Call of Duty 4. And obviously, as you know, everybody is complaining about the Collaterals not working on this game. There's something wrong. Something is different. The sniper rifles just don't, they're not going through people like they did in the original game. We don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. Everybody just assumed like, you know, the bullets are weaker. And what Raven told us like on multiple occasions was that, hey, you need stopping power and deep impact to get Collaterals on the game, which was never ever the case on the original Call of Duty 4. Deep impact never had, well, deep impact on whether you hit Collaterals or not. It never made a difference. There are countless amounts of videos of triples, quads, 5-in-1, 6-in-1s without deep impact, without people standing still. So anyway, people were just like, yeah, what the fuck is this? This is wrong, you're wrong. We ended up linking a video over on Raven Software YouTube channel. That was a collateral comparison. He used the same class, he shot the same amount of people in the same exact spot on both games. And it actually turned out on that game, at one point, he ended up hitting a triple, whereas you could only hit a collateral on the original game. Basically, he was showing that it's even stronger on this game than it was in the original somehow, even though the code is the exact same. And the thing is, his argument is that the code is the exact same, and this is how we, we program the game. But if that's the case, why the inconsistencies? They say this is code and this is how the game is supposed to work, but the thing is that's not how it's working, though. That's the thing. People even show that you weren't able to even collat multiple watermelons on certain maps. As before, you could just shoot clean through each and every single one of them. Now, alright, now people are just screaming at him, telling him that, oh, you're fucking ignorant, you have no idea what you're talking about, how could you put this video up to try to show all this stuff? And the other people that hate snipers and everything are saying shit like, oh yeah, look at all these snipers, get fucking owned, guys, you're fucking retards, blah, blah, blah. All these snipers crying just so they can get their snipers buffed even more when they're already OP and all this other just, something that hateful ass people are gonna say. Now, I get it, when you look at the video, it's like, okay, yeah, there's nothing different here other than actually the one inconsistency where it showed that it's actually stronger on here than it was in the original. But see, my thing is that they keep going back to the code is exactly the same, but they still ended up getting a different result, even in their own test. Even though it's not going the way that, it should, there's still an inconsistency there, and they don't address it whatsoever, and they haven't addressed the countless amounts of videos and montages of people linking, the thousands of quad collats, the thousands among thousands of triples, the multiple 5-in-1s, the few 6-in-1s. Given the one 6-in-1 that they linked was with the ACOG, which is known to make it stronger, but it was with ACOG and extreme conditioning. There have been multiple no-scope triples, whether it's with a reg scope or an ACOG, and just no problem, just no-scope triple through people, no problem. I do want to point one thing out. Now, a lot of people are saying that the reason that he's not hitting collaterals, even on the original game, he had people lined up and he was only getting collats, no triples or anything, when the people are standing still and he's on host. People are saying that the reason he's not hitting anything more is because he's host. They're telling him to try it when he's not host, because somehow host makes a difference. I know it sounds like us snipers are like nitpicking and we're trying to make excuse after excuse after excuse, but somehow host did make a difference. I don't know what it is. It just seems like look, I mean, like, what the fuck is that? I would have 100% killed both of those guys in the original. Like, I already know I would have. Like, if it was common for me to hit mark that, I wouldn't be as annoyed and surprised every single time I hit mark it. Also, on top of the whole host point, it also makes a difference if the people are running towards you for whatever reason other than standing still. If they're running towards you, I mean, you could look at, like, multiple collateral type of videos where, they do a test and see how many they can actually kill in one shot. And you'll see in multiple tests of all of them running straight forward instead of standing still. It's for a reason. It just seems to make a difference. difference. It seems to go further through the players. It seems to have a deeper impact whenever, you know, they're running towards you. I don't know why, they just do. But the one thing I notice is that since, you know, they're talking about hosts and they're doing this and they're doing that, and obviously the connection on this game has been 10 times better than what it was on the old consoles. Technically speaking, I'm not sure if this is, you know, completely dedicated servers or whatever. I have experienced host migrations before. Not exactly sure how their dedicated servers are working, but with the connection being better, I mean, maybe it's that most of us are on just a connection that's really similar to the host, and maybe the bad connection years ago is what made this thing possible. And now that this bad connection is gone, that's why we're having these issues. It's not the same as the old thing. Now, even though they say the code is the exact same and there's inconsistencies, the connection is the difference between those. So maybe it's the fact that we have a way better connection now to where we're basically all on host now. And if that's the case, we have the same quote issue. The one thing I want to point out here is that this might not be something that will ever be fixed then. At first I thought it was just like some problem with the code, or I don't know, just some sort of like weird bug or something. Just I don't know, it just made it so your bullets just don't go as deep or something like that. But if they end up viewing this as something that was just part of the old connection, it actually means it's more of a bug than anything. It actually means that all of these quad collats and triples and everything are actually bugs due to the bad connection. I don't know how bad connection exactly would increase bullet damage or increase your odds of having collaterals, but that would be the only explanation as to why you couldn't get collats on host and why you can't get collats on this good connection now. Now, like I said, I've hit like a good amount of collaterals now, like 10, 15 or whatever, but if I was playing the old one on the old connection, which I'm assuming is the difference here, then I mean, there's really nothing else we can do about it. It makes sense, and it's kind of unfair to keep attacking him. I'm aware that the game is not the exact same, but it might just be due to the connection. But at the same time, since it's not, you know, the same as the original, then maybe then they would increase collateral damage, because I mean, maybe he'll actually take the time to watch a montage and see that this thing is clearly, you know, possible, and there's clearly something different going on. Yeah, I feel like the most logical explanation is this connection. It's as if all of us are on host, we're all dealing with the same host issue that we dealt with back on the old game. So whether they want to actually tweak it to make it more in line, or at least, you know, play more like it, I don't know. Or if they're just going to keep the code the exact same thing, or they're going to say, hey, we're sticking to the original, we're not going to buff anything, we're not tweaking anything, we haven't changed any damage on anything in this game yet, so why do it for snipers now? I don't know, people are saying, I'm gonna rip your fucking dick off, you stupid weeble wobble piece of shit. It's unfair. It's not all of his fault, just chill. I don't know how much of a difference there would actually be when they're, you know, running at it. That's a collat. That was a collateral. I don't know if there would be any difference in, you know, their comparison videos if, you know, they were running towards him. But I mean, regardless, even if they ended up doing this and we ended up getting, you know, a result we didn't get, I mean, I feel like it's really just due to the connection. Now, even if they end up doing a, you know, a video side-by-side comparison of multiple people running towards him, or videos without being on host or something, I still think the connection thing is the most fair assumption here. I just have a pretty bad feeling that they're never actually going to change it then. It's just going to always be this kind of problem now. We call it a problem, but other people are saying that we're just trying to get the snipers buffed and all this other stuff. It's simply that we had a different experience on the game, where when we shot into 3 people, we ended up killing 3 people. But it may just be due to the connection that was on, you know, Xbox 360. Now, does that warrant a change? I don't know, because if the code is the exact same, then they really have no reason to change it. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I want them to change it to, you know, how it used to be. Well, you know, whenever I shot into 3 people, I would actually get a triple kill and stuff. And the M16 still hitting, like, quad collats and 5-in-1s and 6-in-1s is a little weird, since you couldn't do that in the original COD 4. There's some inconsistencies here. I don't know. I'm just trying to be fair and not be like completely ignorant about it and just be like an angry sniper or whatever. It might piss a lot of people off just by, you know, trying to be logical and trying to see it, you know, from their side. I'm just trying to get everybody to think, you know, at least a little bit more calmly, instead of telling, you know, all the people over at Raven when they did make a good fucking game. It's a good game, okay? You could have been playing a horrible, absolutely trash-ass game for the entire year, or forced to go and play, you know, an old Call of Duty again. He's saying that the code is exactly the same, and I mean, it's not his fault if it's acting differently based on connections. So let's not tell Raven to get a whole bunch of, you know, terminal illnesses and venereal diseases, huh? So anyway, yeah, you heard my theory on the whole thing. I'm gonna go get a goddamn haircut. I'm gonna go edit this video and go get my hair cut so I can actually start doing my hair again. And I don't have a bush on my head. I mean, it'll just end up being a smaller bush, but it's getting trimmed, okay? I'm taking at least an inch off this bitch. But anyway, yeah, leave your comments down below. Also, if you haven't seen yesterday's video, like I mentioned earlier in the video. Also, the FaZe Team Taj, if you haven't seen the closer and all that stuff, go check it out. Even though I slightly spoiled it, it's still an experience watching it. Everybody in that Team Taj obviously deserves a lot of credit. Everybody did fucking awesome. But yeah, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, and yeah, it's been Jev, guys. Later.